Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that if New York goes after Trump Organization, they're going to have to go after every other real estate mogul in New York. First of all, he didn't commit a crime. There was no fraud. There were no victims. There was nobody that he cheated out of money. Okay? There's no money that he took illegally from anyone, because that person would have been championed by the New York Post, the New York Times, Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN, The Atlantic, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Daily Beast. That person would have been, or that company, or that corporation, or that real estate conglomerate that was suing Trump alongside the district attorney in New York would have been championed as a hero. You can't find in 30 plus years, 40 years, one person who said that Trump, or one bank, one lending institution, one real estate company who said that Trump took money from them illegally. Okay? So what they did is they said, well, he committed fraud, he had ill-gotten gains, and we're going to go after him, even though nobody in New York can back us up. Now you have a judge who basically ignored and contradicted the previous ruling or opinion of a judge who said that Trump overinflated his net worth. We're going to prove and show you that in New York, there's no way to overinflate anything. It is the most expensive city in the world. The prices are completely absurd. And if you want a $250 million apartment, the most expensive apartment in the world, you can get it in New York. Would you pay $250 million for an apartment? I'm asking you, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat who thinks Trump overinflated his net worth to get loans from banks that happen to make money with Trump. So Deutsche Bank gave Trump $2 billion. $2 billion in loans over a couple of decades. I don't think that they were losing money from Trump. They were making money. One thing bankers, generally, there will be, unfortunately, another crash, stock market crash. But one thing bankers do know most of the time is how to make a great deal of money, especially in real estate. Aside from, times like 2008 and maybe in the future. But here, so the judge issued the ruling minutes after, while he didn't pause the trial, which it doesn't even matter, it'll be appealed. It's already been appealed. The judge has already prevented the immediate cancellation of Trump's businesses. So he did stop the immediate cancellation of Trump's business certificates that a prior judge had ordered last week. This is absolutely huge because prosecutors in New York they basically lost the case. The whole point is to prevent Trump from making money so he can't defend himself in court. That is the whole point of all of this. It's not going to work because he is one of the more honest people in New York. You can laugh and scoff if you want to. He's one of the more honest business people in New York. He's done billions and billions of dollars in business in New York over 40 years. And the Democratic Party prosecutors cannot find a corporation, a lending institution, a bank in the entire city of New York or even the entire world to say that, he committed an illegal act in the state of New York. And I'm going to prove to you why it is impossible to overinflate your net worth, because in New York, you might as well be playing with monopoly money if you're extremely wealthy. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. Share this everywhere for anyone who thinks that Trump overinflated his net worth and, he duped these poor banks. You have one penthouse apartment, $188 million. Another one, $101 million. Are you going to pay anything over $1 million? I mean, or whatever, $10 million for an apartment? $101 million for another apartment. Okay? $76 million for a condo. Okay? $72 million for a 3-bedroom apartment. It's right here. The 3-bedroom apartment on the 75th floor is 5,000 square feet for $72 million. I mean, who in their right mind is going to pay $72 million for a 3-bedroom apartment? Okay, I don't care how big the apartment is. It's a 3-bedroom apartment. And it's an apartment. It's not like this big sprawling house or, mansion. For $72 million in New York. I mean, you can go down the list. $57 million for a 9,000 square foot townhouse. Yeah, it's a big townhouse. Fine. It's a townhouse. It's not a sprawling mansion. For $57 million? Are you kidding me? The most expensive property is $220 million. I think that was, okay, so they have different prices here. So 220, that's $188 million. This site says 220, $188 million. Okay, this one has $238 million. So it went up in price. There you go. Here's an example of why there's no way for him to overinflate his net worth. These are people who say that know nothing about money, economics, New York real estate. If you're willing to pay $238 million for a penthouse apartment, a luxury apartment in New York, it's $238 million for an apartment. So you're going to say that Trump overinflated his net worth when these apartments are overinflated in the most obscene manner? What do you get for $238 million that you couldn't? I mean, if you're willing to pay a certain cost or price for a good or service in a capitalist society, you're not overinflating any net worth. Okay, if perhaps it's some type of commodity or some type of valuable and you deceive the person, that's another issue. But this is New York real estate. Hit subscribe to read my writing on the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. To my super thank you to my Patreons. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. To the members of this channel, become a member. It's absolutely very important for the channel. To the members, thank you so very much. $238 million. And he's still getting loans. Trump needed $225 million. A little-known bank came to the rescue. The reason that other banks have perhaps stopped doing business because they don't want to get investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation or whatever. Not that the Federal Bureau of Investigation would investigate this bank or any other bank, but they don't want Democrats to accuse a bank of, oh my God, working with Trump, or at least the media, the negative media coverage. But this bank did, because they're making money off Trump. And that's fine. The bank is doing what it should do to make money. But this absurd notion that Trump isn't that wealthy and he isn't a good businessman, the one thing he is very good at is business. The one thing Democrats are not very good at is business. That's why when they shut down economic activity, they did so gleefully. And they said, oh, well, we'll give you a check. It's like, well, okay. But here, Deutsche Bank loaned more than $2 billion to Trump over 2 decades. Why do you think they loaned more than $2 billion to Trump? If you're a morally superior prosecutor in New York, why do you think that Deutsche Bank loaned $2 billion to Trump? And why do you think the judge just recently, the appeals court, blocked any attempt to dissolve Trump organization? Because people were making money with Trump for decades. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. To read my writing in the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, go to hagoodman.com. Thank you.